Hi, so today's little project was inspired by something I saw on YouTube, and as I had already made a tag shape as part of my 12 days of Christmas projects, I thought that it would be a good little project to make as a thank you gift. Now I'm just going to come to my projects and I'm going to scroll down and find the tag that I showed you how to make in the 12 days of Christmas projects. This tag was actually the very first project I made, although it ended up being day 12 in the projects because I rearranged all the videos for various reasons. So this is the tag shape that I'm going to use today. Now I need to go to the basic shapes and I'm going to grab a rectangle and I'm just going to hold the shift key down and then grab the handle and rotate it. I'm going to make this rectangle 3/4 of an inch wide, so 0.75 wide or thereabouts. This isn't vital. I'm just using this as a guide to resize this tag, and I'm going to take it down to about 2 inches because the little box that I'm going to make in a few minutes should end up being around about 2 by 3/4 of an inch. So now I'm going to grab the tag and group everything. I'm going to position this on top. I'm just going to fill it with colour so that hopefully you can see it better, and I'm just going to bring it to the front. Now I'm going to select the tag that's all grouped and I'm going to grab a corner and shrink it down. Just going to zoom in. I'm going to make it, I think, about 2.5 inches tall. Just tall enough for this little box to sit in it when I've made it. So I think that's probably about the right size. So now I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to grab this section. I'm going to come to the Brother ScanNCut converter and I'm going to type "Thanks a latte" and I'm going to find a font that I want to use. And I think I'm going to use this Always Forever, which I got, I'm sure, from dafont.com. So if you want to use the same font, that's what it's called. I'm going to save it. I'm going to put it on my desktop. And then close that down. Just going to move this down now because when I bring the font in, it always comes up in the top left-hand corner. So I'm going to come to the SVG icon, which will enable me to find the FCM file I've just saved. I'm going to click Choose File, go to my desktop and find that file and say OK. And now I'm just going to zoom in so you can see it. I'm going to grab the word latte because these are all individual letters and position it underneath the thanks a. Then I'm going to select everything, well, the three words, and right click and group. Before I do anything, I'm going to come to the properties box and I'm going to change it to a draw line only because I just want this to draw and not cut. So now I'm going to zoom back to matte. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to ungroup this because this is all grouped together from when I made it. I'm going to delete the to and from because I don't need that. And I'm going to bring the thanks a latte over and shrink it down to fit within this tag. So I'll just zoom in and position it there. Now I'm just going to select this bit and just make sure it is a cut only line, and it is. So now I'm going to select the element of my tag and my words and right click and group them. and go back to fit to mat, and then that's going to sit on the front there. This I can get rid of now because I was only using it as a guide to resize this. So I can hit the delete key on my keyboard. And now I can just separate these pieces out, give it a name here, save it and download it. And then I'm going to show you in a few minutes how to create the little box that I'm going to put behind here to make it as a little thank you gift. Okay, so I've cut the design that I've just shown you how to size in ScanNCut Canvas. Now I've actually cut it bigger than I said. So this, when I resized it in Canvas, I think I took it down to about 2.5. It's actually 3 inches. So I've made this 3 inches. I've cut 2 of them because you need a front and a back. The back I'm leaving plain. The front I've applied the Thanks a Latte and I've used a Secura gel pen in gold. And I've stuck that onto the card with 3D foam. I don't know whether you can see that through there or not. And then I've just added by hand some gold faux stitching. So that's how the front's looking now, and that's the back. So I'm going to show you how I came up with making the little box that's going to sit in there for this lip balm that's going to be in it. Now obviously these come in different thicknesses. They all tend to be a similar height, but they can be thinner or thicker. So you'll need to know how to make a box or a casing for it that fits yours. And in the last video I explained how to understand the 1/8 and 16ths on an imperial ruler. And I said I had a little project in mind, and this is it. And the actual idea for the project itself I saw on YouTube, and as I'd already shown you how to make the tags in my 12 Days of Christmas projects, I thought, oh well, I've already got one of those, I can turn that into this other project. So that's how it came about. So how I would go about making something that would fit this is literally just get a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be grid paper. My lines are not even on my grid. But basically just get yourself a piece of paper and put your, whatever you're using, if it's a lip balm, down on a piece of paper. I'm just lining the bottom up with the bottom line of my grid paper here, but it doesn't really matter. And then I'm just going to, using just a pen or you pencil, anything you want, I'm just going to draw a line down both sides. And then I'm going to mark across the top and across the bottom. When I've done that, I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure the distance between these 2 lines. So on this ruler, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 6/8. So this is 6/8 wide. Now I want it to be quite snug, so I'm not going to add anything on. I don't want the box to come right to the top. I want it to kind of stop about here. So I'm going to measure this, and 2 inches I think will be fine. So I know I want my piece of card that I'm going to make this out of 2 inches wide, 2 inches high. And I know that this is now 6/8. And obviously I'm making a box, so I need 4 sides. So I need 6/8 times 4. Okay, so 6 4s are 24. So that's 24/8, if you like. And we know that 8/8 make an inch. So 8, 16, 24 is 3 inches. So I know I need a piece of card now that's 3 inches. I need a bit for a glue tab, so I'm going to allow 1/2 inch. So my width needs to be 3.5. So to save some time, I've cut a piece of card that's 3.5 by 2.5, because I forgot this is 2 inches high, but I need a base on it again, so I'm adding 1/2 inch. So sorry, just to recap, so from the base to where I want my box to finish was 2 inches. I've added 1/2 inch on for the base, so that's 2.5 high, and then it was 6/8 and we need 4 of them plus 1/2 inch. So that's 3.5. So this piece of card is 3.5 by 2.5. And that's how you work out how to make something specifically for a particular size. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring in my scoreboard and I'm going to put my piece of card in on the 3.5 inch side, and I need to score this now every 6/8. So I'm going to come to my scoreboard and count 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's my first score mark. And then I want to count another 6, but I've already worked this out. So another 6/8 from there is 1.5. So I'm going to score at 1.5. But basically you're counting 6/8 from the first score line. Then from the second score line I need another 6/8. So that's 2 1/4. And then another 6/8 from 2 1/4 is 3. And then I've got 1/2 inch, which is my glue tab. I'm going to turn it round, and on the short side I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. So now I'm going to take a bone folder and I'm just going to burnish over all these score marks. So that's my little piece of card. I'm just going to get some scissors. Now you've got 4 equal sections and the 1/2 inch, which is the glue mark at the glue tab. So there's a square in the corner. I'm going to cut up on that score line and cut that piece away completely. Then I'm just going to angle this corner a little bit. It just helps it go together a little bit better. And you can angle the top if you want, like so. Now I'm going to cut up the 4 score lines up to the 1/2 inch. I'm just going to change my scissors. They're a bit too big for me to see on this dark card. And then I'm just going to notch out on the corners. So I'm just taking a little slither off each of the sections. It just helps your box go together a little bit better. And this is for all construction really, for any size box. Just cut a little wedge from each of the 4 sections. So I'll show you how it's looking. So that is now how it's looking. So I just need to put some glue on this tab, and just for speed I'm going to use a glue runner, but I would use a wet tape or something like a wet adhesive or a really strong tape. Helps if you get your glue runner the right way up. So I've got glue on that tab, so if I fold that tab in now, this will come over and meet it because this is a square. Okay, and then you can get your fingers in and just press it together so you know that it's firmly stuck. So that's the back of the box. In this particular case it's going to be hidden behind the tag, but normally I would always have the back to the back, and then the front piece is the last piece that folds over. So I'm going to fold those 4 in, turn this over, apply a little bit of glue on here, and then stick that down. Then I'm just going to turn it upside down and get my pen or a bone folder or anything and stick that in the bottom just to let that glue grab. So that's our little box. Here's my lip balm, and that fits in perfectly now. Now I've already made one, a prototype, and it'll probably be easy to show you on a lighter colour. I'll just get my ruler. So it is exactly 2 inches tall, and it is exactly 6/8 wide. Don't know how well you're going to see that. And that's because we worked out our own measurement and calculated the card that we need. So now I'm going to stick this all together, and this is going to be my little gift. So what I'm going to do, again, I would use a strong tape, something like red line tape or a wet glue, but just for the video, I'm just going to use the glue runner. I'm going to stand it up. I'm just going to have to face this towards me and position it centrally. And then press it down. And then again, do the same thing. Line it all up and press it down. And then you can use a bone folder if you want. So let me move everything out of the way. So that is now my little gift. So it's a little coffee cup, thanks a latte, and a little gift inside. So I hope you like that project. Please give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share if you can do. It does help my channel. And make sure you've got the bell notification icon turned on, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.